And we're live. Hey,
Yo, this
welcome.
is Productivity and Procrastination, episode 45. And this is where you listen to us and, you know, change your life. That's exactly what you're going to do. Go from procrastinating flubs to amazing producers. All in one episode.
This episode. Yeah, you'll change your life or you'll change your mind about listening to this episode. It's up to you.
Well, now I know what bet I'm going to take.
Same, same.
Well,
Ugh.
Joe, who's going to be the one?
I'll, I volunteer as tribute. James.
Oh, good. I'll sit at home and eat the garbage while you go fend for weapons and things like that. Make alliances with people who are inevitably going to die next to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ba, 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 bum. No, what's the? I don't know. Oh, it's like choo 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 choo.
Uh, Nor do I seem to care. So,
Okay.
what else is going on?
So let's talk about my goals for this week.
Okay.
So this week, I plan on waking up early 3 days and working on Illy, my little illustration.
What's today? One of those days?
I typically do count this day as waking up early because the time that we wake up to record these, which is 7 in the morning. Just so everyone knows, we're suffering for you. And then I was supposed to work on the illy at other times. So let me define what happened this week. Monday. Monday was art day. Monday I was an artiste. I got all the things. I got all the outline done. Finished all that. Added a color to it as a base color, which I need to rethink because I'll talk about that in a second. I did that, and then played around with a bunch of different like color variations on it and stuff, and couldn't really settle on something yet. But working Monday, it felt good. It was nice. I like having an artiste day. It is nice.
Yeah. How,
But then I woke up on Tuesday and I was sick. You may be hearing it now. It started on Tuesday and I am just at the end of it, getting better. And that's part of the reason I didn't do anything this week. I didn't do jack crap the rest of the week. I didn't wake up early a single day. I didn't work on the illustration other than on Artist Day. No. I had time and I chose to do other things instead. I don't
well,
know
I
how
mean,
much of that was being sick or
it's-
versus, but it sucks. I had a hard week.
well, I mean, People get sick. And who
Yeah,
really likes to work on stuff when they're sick? I mean, really.
true, but and I'm a baby when I'm sick too.
Most guys are. Well, let's it's easier to not do anything when you're sick. So I'm not going to talk much about that. You get your sickness. Let's go back to Monday then for a second. Uh, heard what you did on your thing. Are you happy with what you did?
Mostly, so here's the issues. Um, so I ended up reverting back to my old way of illustrating, and I don't want to do that. And so I want to take my line art and follow the same process that this other person does. And so I ended up, it was fun playing around with the different colors and like trying very different color schemes and playing around with like skin tones and that type of thing. But I do want to follow their process. So what I need to do is take a step back, follow their process. Like what I need to do is write down their process. Like actually watch through the video, write down their process. I've just been following along. But what I need to do is actually just like write it down so that way I have a guideline to kind of follow. Because I do want to give that a fair shot because I think that's important to me. Because I'm not in love with the process I'm currently using. So, yeah.
Well, then why did you change? Like, why did you revert back if it's important to you to do that other thing?
It's just something I didn't even think about it. It's just like I ended up going on autopilot, and it's really easy to do. And so like, it wasn't like I messed up anything. It's all just like playing around. It's really easy, and it's really easy to change it back too. It's just it was more I just wanted to play around with the colors and see like what looked good, and a lot of it was just
Well, I would have to ask why can't playing around with coloring be part of your process? You know, it's like, oh, okay, I like this coloring. And once I have that, won't that help you make details once you know a coloring?
yeah, absolutely.
So then why can't it just be your process? Why do you have to follow some other dude's exact process? If you naturally and intuitively said coloring, kind of baseline colors is like something I need to kind of like know right now. Why can't that be a better thing in your way? I mean, it's just a question.
Yeah. So the difference for me is because the way I was doing it before was character first, right? It's very character oriented in you create the character, you color the character, and then the background is a secondary thought. With the method I'm using now, from what I've seen, it's you draw the character, you figure out the background color, just like a general color theme for the
When you say
background.
background, you mean background as in what's not on the character, but in
Correct.
back of them? Okay, cool. All
And
right.
then you use that information to inform how to color the character. So it's a more cohesive piece
Why don't you
overall.
reverse that and just make I mean, if the character is what you're working on, why not make the character's colors and then make the background color cohesive with the character color? Like, why does it have to start with the background? which is something you're not working on at the moment.
It will be something
So-
I'm working on.
How is that efficient?
What I'm trying to do is give the method a try, and I want to give it a fair try before I
I'm
dismiss it.
critiquing the method right now. I'm asking you, how is that efficient? It doesn't seem to be. Yeah, okay, some dude who does stuff a lot says do this, but why is that smart? Like, I understand they know how to draw. How is you're working on a character, you've been working zillion hours on this character, so now all of a sudden, in order to color this character that I've been working on, I've got to somehow think about what I haven't been working on and think about that coloring so that I can then it doesn't make any sense. Stupid. Why not just decide the character you're actually working on for all those hours, decide that color tone, and then inform the background of how to make that a cohesive and great, color scheme. Like, have the character you've been working on inform the background and not the other way around. Seems like you're splitting your thinking in a odd way.
Yeah, and it may end up proving not to be a good method, but I do want to give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I'm just saying it sounds stupid, but whatever.
So, from my understanding, it should make for a more cohesive overall illustration, because the character is just a small part of the illustration for me. Its character is important, yes. I'd say character is about 50%. The other 50 is the background and the foreground and the stuff like what is with the character that tells the story.
Okay, but you haven't been working on that, so do you even know what's in there?
I have a few sketches I've been working on in my actual drawing book that go over kind of what I want it to look like.
So, okay. You want to give that a fair shot, but I mean,
For realistically, what it just really means is color tone and not necessarily drawing the background, the general tone of the background.
I mean, it would seem like if you want to give this guy's thing a fair shake, then I mean, you would have the basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of what they're doing, and then
Yeah.
But
I was just following a video.
okay,
I
mean,
it's not like they broke down what they're doing. I'm just following a video of a speed paint on what they're doing during that speed paint.
okay, so you're inferring what they've done. They might have already known the color tones of the character, and that was the first initial step. They haven't even talked about that, and you just kind of thought they were working on the background colors first.
Well,
so you don't really know their mental process there.
Correct. I don't know their entire process, but I do see that they did work on an overall tone for the piece, and they worked from there.
Okay. Okay, well, I guess I won't. All right. So you were following along. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so you're following along. You're watching them do the background, but instead of doing the background, you decide to work on the character color.
No, so it was more.
What?
It was more. What really happened, right, is I finished with the outline, and I was like, I want to play around with the colors, I didn't even think about like continuing the.
But Joe, you can't have an exploration experience. You have to follow this dude's thing, right?
I see what you're saying. It makes sense. That's all I've got to say about that.
All right. All right. I mistakenly thought you were trying to find your workflow, not just blatantly copy some other dude. Even though you didn't even copy some dude, you decided to still not copy them and do your own thing. But that's bad. So you got to go revert back to hopefully following them. Why don't you just say you're trying to discover your workflow? And you know what? You wanted to work on the color tone of the character first. You didn't think it was massively beneficial to do what they did. You wanted to have a little fun and explore the character color because that's what you've been working on. That's the exciting part. You don't even know is there a mechanical background? Is there a jungle? Like, how do we know? You know, I mean, would they look really great if they were in a jungle? If they were glow in the dark yellow? I mean, you know, it's like maybe you want to find out what color looks good with them and then make a background that kind of, you know, is cohesive with that color arrangement that you like. Instead of like, oh no, I've chosen a dark dismal cave. Well, now this awesome glow in the dark red pattern thing that I decided for my character is complete crap. I better change and revert to a Gemini's with the background color that I've drudgingly decided upon. Anyway. Just some thoughts.
Some thoughts. Some good thoughts. And I am trying to discover what works for me. So I am trying to explore other alternative methods. And end up coming to the same conclusion that I liked my previous method more. But I want to give it a fair shake. Because I really like their final products.
So
no. Hold on.
I'm saying that. It's so important to me, yet I didn't do it. Yet I didn't follow it.
Hold on. Yes, I didn't.
Don't understand. You're lying to yourself.
It was more of a impulse, I think, or just I didn't even think about it. I just started coloring it in this specific way, but it's all like really easy to just like. It's like 2 button clicks. I can revert it because it's all on separate layers.
Of course it is. I mean, what? I think it's just magically not in Photoshop now all of a sudden. Oh, it's set in. Of course it is.
So
that doesn't mean that you didn't make the decision, Joe. You made the decision to not do the process. So why not? Because you didn't want to do that process. That's why you didn't like that process.
I forgot it existed. It was.
Oh, when you were watching a video.
I wasn't watching the video. I just have the video up at all times, waiting for me to get the next
still frame in this how to do the drawing. I mean, that's what you're looking at. Like, I don't understand that.
It's an artist thing, James. You wouldn't understand.
All right. Well, maybe if you're following your process, you should outline the process.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
At least a stinking sticky pad out there with, now I'm in background color mode. Maybe I should follow this process I've been following. No, I mean, yeah. It's like you're defending somebody else's process that you're deciding not to follow. It's like
I'm not defending it. I just think there is some merit to it, and I want to give it a shot. I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah,
I like their output, and so I want to try their process. And it's probably there's just like
all right. So
skill.
You didn't. Why not? What's the subconscious like? Like you said you were just on autopilot.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a problem, right? So how do you solve that? What are you going to do to solve that?
I'm going to outline their process
Uh-huh.
and then give it a try.
All right. Outline, follow. That's how you're going to. All right.
Yeah, boy.
And if you don't, well then
Blame James.
you're fighting back against their process, and obviously you don't
I'm
want
like
to follow it.
the 2000 movie Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. Or is
I
it
guess
2001?
Everybody knows that reference, but maybe not me.
I've been playing the Pokemon TCG on my phone, and so
That still doesn't provide enough context to how that relates to what you're
my
doing.
brain. I grew up on that movie, and so it shaped me.
That still doesn't explain what the reference refers to.
Because you said you'll something hit back or something, and I was gonna do strike back as a reference. It's a
A move
yeah. No,
on a Pokemon.
No, it's not. I'm done. We're gonna throw out that reference that I used. You're being
right.
very combative today, and I'm scared of you.
Sorry, I need to.
You gotta yell at me some more, James. You gotta yell at me some more.
No. Okay, I'm proud that you were working on Monday. I'm throw out all the sickness. Doesn't matter to me. And I want to know and understand how it felt, to work on your stuff. Did you actually work on it all day? Did you branch out in your mind as an artist? Did you feel like you were, stepping into that role that day? Those are the key things that I'm really worried about. Now, as the actual breakdown of the process, doesn't sound like you approached it very logical. Doesn't sound like how many months have you been working on this thing and you've been following this guy and you didn't even write the outline of what you needed to do? Like that sounds so basic.
Up. I have the video. I just
I
followed
have
it.
the video up and you still didn't follow it, Joe.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna follow an outline, you need to have an outline. That's number one.
That's what we're working on today. I'm gonna write it down.
Great. All right. So
I'm still gonna have the video up though, James, as reference.
you do that. Still frame image this video. I hope that helps.
Oh, it will.
And yeah. I'm voting on the moon scene. That's where you're at. You're on the moon. And then from that color scheme, you can inform your character of what colors are going to be.
Yes.
Instead of being excited about this character
Moon Lamia
and coloring the character that you've been thinking about all this time and having that inform the outfit and all those things, and then deciding what home does this live in? No, but instead I'm going to decide the background color first, having thought of absolutely nothing with this background relative to the amount of time I've spent on the character and musing over that. Yeah, it does sound a little counterintuitive to me, but you want to give it a shake, go for it.
Give it a shake.
Go for it.
There's something you mentioned I wanted to touch on. I don't remember.
Maybe
what it was.
how the day went. How it
Oh
felt.
yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I still think
important
I need to
stuff.
work on that. Like getting into the day and not just like, okay, illustration time. Okay, illustration time's over. Like
Done
I
with
did.
day.
Yeah, I did think about like other forms of media I could work on and that type of stuff, but it was oh is that a V8?
Why, yes, it is.
Oh, a spicy one, perhaps?
Yes, it is.
Hot dogs. Um.
Ice cold too.
Oh, damn.
Uh huh.
But yeah,
So
I need to get better at getting into the mindset. Mainly that's something that's gonna. I I get like too focused on one thing, and I need to take a step back.
okay, yeah, but then when that stopped, what did your mind do? Where did you go?
Uh, it
What did
was
you
like once it was done, I
decide?
was done with illustration time. I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do my own thing and play video games or relax. I don't remember exactly what I did, but
Gotcha. Just not be an artist.
exactly.
Okay.
I have been
Well,
doing very good about not planning things on Monday, though.
that's the start. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean there's various strategies you can employ. You can pretend like you you know, you wake up and you're like, I have quit my job. This is what I do now. Let me figure this out. Let me, you know, and you treat it like a day where you need to figure it out, and like not go to those, you know, to the video games or to the normal activities, kind of like you kind of like fast from the normal activities and then
Mm.
so you can do anything but you can, you know, and if you don't know what to do, then, okay, well, go for a walk, think about what you're going to do next, but don't go back to the normal activities. Otherwise, you'll never branch out and just like, did you research the cons? Did you, you know,
Yeah.
did you paint? Did you take a next step? So I don't know, maybe treat it like that. Like, I've quit. This is what I do. I need to figure it out. Approach it more of like that, and then or limit, already go into the day limiting the amount of things that you can do. Like, have a kind of a list of things you can do.
Mm.
Oh,
That's a good
okay, I
idea.
can I can whatever those are, whatever you deem as things that are acceptable as in the artist mentality, and then have a list to go to.
Yeah. I think having a list is a good idea. That way I'm
And then
not just
just,
like trying to come up with the top of my
yeah,
head. It's easy to go, okay, what else can I do?
and then just feel it out. Because we ultimately want to do is enjoy the day,
Right.
but in the context of, you know, and like you phrased it, a while back, you're role playing a day of the artist. Well,
And to get into character.
yeah, it's because ultimately, if you want to do this for a living, you need to be able to suffer through a day of it. I mean, right? I mean, like, it can't eventually be uh, this. Oh yeah, I want to be an artist, but given the opportunity, that's the furthest thing that I want to do. It's got to eventually be. I am enjoying just that role, you know, and so that's the point of having a day where you do that, is to see if you can stomach it, you know, because ultimately if you would never fully enjoy the process, and you're never going to fully transform into that, so then you might as well know that up front and just stop. I mean, or do it in the method that, okay, well, this is just going to be something I do every so and so because I enjoy it, but it's not going to be something I'm going to transform into and turn my life into. You need to know that information. Because it's got to go away from it's important to me mentally, logically, into man, I feel something in that, in the moment, through the day. You know, it's got to translate into that. For you to break out and like indulge into it. And that's kind of what we all want to do, right? As creatives, we want to get to the point where it's like we almost live and breathe it. And when we do that, we will produce a lot, and it can be something that maybe we can make a living off of. And it seems like it would be effortlessly and easier, maybe not effortlessly, but you know, well, I think we all want it to kind of take the place in what we would be filling the time with. And in order to do that, it's got to release some kind of emotion in us that can make us want to just stay in that mode, and be satisfied in it. So
Yeah, I agree.
that being said, let's talk about my crappy week.
I got your goals written down.
Good, let's hear them.
All right. Um, in the mode Thursday goals, because you're supposed to get in the mode
Yes.
on Thursday. Not to use phone in the morning. Print out your story and edit it, and then more focused. Do you feel like you were more focused this week? Or tell us about your week, James.
Well, in most of those ways, I feel like I've accomplished. I didn't print it out. I didn't do any of that. And my Thursday, which was my day to get everything done, was Halloween, which turned into Halloween. So my Thursday kind of sucked. But my main goal of refocusing and being in the moment and present, you know, has been successful. I've been basically in the mode ever since, well, Thursday. Halloween, it was like, man, I wish this wasn't Halloween, but it is, so I'm dealing with it. And then, so ever since then, I've been just kind of like constantly thinking about what I'm doing. The phone things, the all those aspects are not taking up my they're not distracting me to the point where I'm not feeling the pressure and wanting, you know, the progress. And it's like the moments are ticking by now. Whereas before, you know, in distraction mode, it's like the week just went and you might as well time traveled. So all I've been thinking about is like, okay, well, this next Thursday. There's no holidays. There's nothing going on. I can't wait until I get a chance to be the and I want to specifically edit that piece and work on that. That's what I've been thinking about these last 4 days. Just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm not gonna let anybody get in my way, and I'm just going to enjoy that, like set it up to enjoy it, and because I have a renewed desire to finish that piece. And much like you were talking about your illustration, I feel like you allow yourself to slow down when it's taken a while, and I see that, and I'm deciding to go, okay, no, I need to give this its due time. And so what I have seen in the past when working on editing is that you think you just go, oh, I'm just going to edit that all day and be done. What really happens is you edit it, and then you have to digest it, and it's like a coat of paint that you need to maybe go over it again. But then a little bit of time in between. What I want to do is, no matter what the outcome, no matter if I've just run through it and like, yeah, I love this, or if it's like, okay, something I think I'm closer, but I'm not quite.
Right.
If one of those outcomes is fine, I want to set it up so then the next Thursday I am prepared to put that second coat of paint on. And hopefully, get done as soon as possible with that second edit, so then I can get it to the point where I'm on the next step, which maybe feedback section. But anyway,
Yeah.
the rest. So the whole week, I mean, I did get my first sales. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I was gonna ask,
That was
but
cool.
I was afraid to.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not, they bought 3 of my 10.
Nice.
One dude. So that was cool. But I didn't get like really excited. Like I thought I would be like, oh, supercharged, and like for some reason I was just been down from it. I'm like, oh hell, it's like you equate sales to doing the right thing, and it's like that's not necessarily how I need to look at it. I need to look at it more of a business approach. But anyway, that was kind of cool.
No, that's awesome. Like, congrats.
Thanks. But the feeling that I didn't get just kind of made me think about it. It's like, well, why didn't I get excited about that? And my conclusion was, because I'm ready to work on this writing thing, and my mind has been thinking about it so much. It's like, even though the other thing should be exciting me, and I should be thinking, oh, okay, well, I got to do another shoot, and I need to do this. Really, the only thing I'm gearing up for is my Thursday writing thing. So yeah, more focus. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Not using the phone as much. Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a big deal.
Yeah, and it is.
Gosh,
It is.
I made a mistake last night. I was like, okay, I'm going to bed at a reasonable hour. And then I was like, you know what? I want to check my Pokemon pack to see if I can open up a booster pack before I go to sleep. I opened it up and then I was like, oh no, I can't, but I could do a few other things. And so I did those few things. I was like, okay, cool. And then I put my phone down and then, it was fine. It was like a normal, reasonable hour still. And then it's like, I can't really sleep. Maybe I should watch some videos. And then all of a sudden, 3 hours had gone by, and I'm like, pull myself out of this video coma.
You know, here's what I have done to defeat that. It does cost a little money though on YouTube.
Oh God.
But I have decided that it's well worth it for me. I have the premium like YouTube thing, and the only reason I have it is so I can shut off my phone and just listen to it. So I found that if I'm in bed just like scrolling through like what am I going to watch, then and I'll watch some stuff, but obviously that keeps you up. So I'll click on something I want to watch or listen to, and then I'll shut it off and like put it to the side, listen to it, and I found that I can easily fall asleep within a few minutes of starting to listen to whatever thing I'm listening to.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, I'll have to give that a shot. Usually what I end up doing is listening to audiobooks until I fall asleep. But
I don't think I would do that. That would be like, wouldn't you miss it? Like, entire chapters could go by.
Oh yeah, it does, and I have to back up. But
That's weird.
you're weird. It's a thing. I like it. It makes me happy.
Okay.
So going to the next week, what are some of your goals?
Wasn't pretty clear. My goal is to have my real first Thursday where I have nobody booked in it and I can just dive in as a author. And feel like I've spent basically the entire day doing that, in that mode, not necessarily editing. Clarify with that. If I've worked, all stinky day and it's like, 9 p.m. and I'm just spent, then I'll allow myself to maybe, play a game or something with family. But in my mind, I want to think that it's off limits until I decide.
Yeah.
And
to feel sated.
Yeah. And that's my major goal. Beyond that, it's use as much time as I possibly can for the rest of the week to gear me up for that and keep me in a present state of mind and just focus on the fact that I want to make some progress here, and I want it to be as timely as I can. And in order to do that, I really have to indulge in the lifestyle. I think that's going to give me get the progress that I need. I've got to devote the time
Mm-hmm.
to it. That's the next step. That's the major goal. So
So, I was gonna ask a question. I'm still going to. As an artiste, because we are both artistes, as a writer, do you have moments where you think to yourself, how would I describe this in a book? Like doing things or specific objects or that type of stuff. Because I know as a visual artist, a lot of times I'll look at something and I'm like, how would I take a mental picture and I like kind of like I can see the lines on like how I would draw something. Like I visualize it. Do you do any?
do I
Do you-
describe it in my mind? Like, do I
Yeah.
think to myself, how would I describe this Red Bull cat?
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be that, or like different actions, like how you would walk through, like like you're on your way to the grocery store or something, and you're like
No.
how would you describe? All right.
I'm kind of elitist in that whole thing. I tell myself that I don't want to waste, my creative, in the moment, inspiration on something that is not put down on paper.
Oh,
Honestly. So it's like if I need to describe a specific thing, well, that's keyboard out, and I need to visually see the words and the structure of the paragraph to like it too. And so for me, it's like, I don't know. It's just even the arrangement of the words sometimes can make the difference to me. So I wouldn't want to do that while on the road where I can't solidify, you know. So
Okay.
no, it doesn't work the same for me anyway. I don't know. Maybe there's
yeah.
authors out there that love
It's
to do
probably
that.
just a different thing than because I notice I do it a lot
Yeah.
as a visual artist. I break things down, but I think that's just what I'm supposed to do as a visual artist is break things down, and so I think that's just part of
Yeah, it is a little bit of a difference.
yeah, for sure.
I would think that if I became somebody who was using a recorder to spout stuff off, then yeah, I would do that a lot more often.
Yeah.
I do have two nice, expensive recorders.
Recorders. I believe
that
it.
I have that I should.
You should. I would love for you to
using.
start doing that. That'd be fun for you.
But
I think I think the creative mind is a muscle that needs to be exercised, or it atrophies.
nah. For me, I just think you need to dust it off.
Nah.
It's, nah. To an extent, maybe. I mean, obviously you can get better at doing things more often, so why not atrophy as well? But I don't know. I think to a certain degree, I guess everybody has their baseline talent in and who they are with it, and that's never going to atrophy. But the actual use of it can exponentially, magnify it. So yeah, you'd never be very great if you haven't done anything with it. It's probably the state I'm in. um, but I don't think it'll be ever as just get worse and worse just because I haven't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so naturally bad I'll never even know.
I like your stuff, what I've read or what I've heard.
Well, thanks. But really, I just need to just jump in and just do it. And if I do that and I make it a part of my life, in that way, I'm going to see some real progress. If I just see it as, I just want to get this one little chapter or page done, I don't think I'm going to make the progress. I need to do exactly what we've been talking about with you, like jumping in, making a full day of it, and jumping into that lifestyle, because what I want that to do is spread and leach into the other days where it's like, okay, I know what it's like to just be that role. So, for some weird reason, I woke up early on this rando day and I have like 4 hours where nobody's up or something. And you know what? I know exactly how to just be that artist. And I'm going to do that. And maybe it's going to feel like an entire another day. And eventually when you have products and you're making sales or whatever, maybe you can do it for a living. That's the hope. So preparing myself to be able to jump into that role any day and any time and still have the production. That's the dream of of it. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to chat about before we close it out here, Yamsimus?
I can't think of anything.
You look defeated.
Oh, you asked me to come up with something and I couldn't think of it, so I was defeated.
Oh. Well, don't be defeated. That
means
means you've spilled your guts. You've done a good job.
I was defeated for a whole half a second. It was okay.
I'm hopeful. Are you hopeful moving into the next week? Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I'm expectant. Is what I am. It must be done. That's where I'm at.
All right, cool. All right, well, thank you guys for listening, and we will be back next week with more insights of two people trying to get productive.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.